phone.
Yo, what up? This your boy Cash Elder, the Boss King. I feel like I can have a conversation with anybody on any level. So that's what we're going to do. Today's episode, I got my boy Ty Shury on here. He's going to talk about a lot of different things. This is a financial episode. This is a how to be a man episode. This is a good guy. This is my guy, real solid dude. So he got a couple of questions that I have a couple of questions that I'm really been wanting to ask him, exclusively. And I don't really have many questions, for people out there because I already know what they're doing, how they're doing it, and blase, blase. But this man right here is in a lot of different games that I am interested in. One, he's in the Turo game. He's in the Airbnb game. And don't you got the life insurance going on? Or something like that?
I got a car dealer license.
My man's.
Car dealer, yeah. Car dealer license as well.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah. And I do insurance, but I do property insurance, like commercial property.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about all that because people probably like, what kind of insurance is that? So we're gonna clarify all that. So let's introduce, yourself to the people. What's your name?
Tyrone Shury. But I go by Ty Shury on Facebook.
Where you from?
I'm from New York originally, born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens. Parents are from South America, though.
That's what's up. What part of South America?
From Guyana, South America.
Dope.
Yeah, they both migrated to here.
You got them strong work ethics, huh?
Very, very strong, man. Both my parents are very, very hard workers, man. For real. That's where I get it from, honestly.
I'm already knowing. So, did you move to Atlanta, or aren't you located in Atlanta?
Yeah, I'm located in Atlanta now. I actually went to Morehouse in Atlanta. And after I went to Morehouse, I went back to New York, spent some time in Rhode Island, some time in South America. But then I had my daughter, and I ended up just staying grounded in Atlanta.
Nice. So you went to Morehouse?
Yes, sir.
I bet that was fun.
It was great. Yeah, great experience, man. Good to see a lot of brothers together, accomplishing big things, man. It's a lot of, we got a really great alumni. Of course, Samuel Jackson went there.
Right.
Spike Lee went there. Of course, Martin. So, yeah.
Major. Let me ask you this. Did you graduate from there?
Yes, I did, man.
What was your
major?
I
thank my mom for that. My major was business management.
Nice.
I was going to take the year off. My mom was like, nah, you can't do that. So it took me a year longer than most, but I ended up finishing, man. So like I said, it really was a great experience.
Congratulations, man. What's the top 3 lessons you learned from going to Morehouse?
I would say, one, the importance of staying focused on a goal. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what the distractions are around you, stay focused and see it through. Another thing I would say, man, is that not everybody can get to the finish line in certain races, if that makes sense. I remember in the freshman year, we had a speaker, and he said, look to the left of you and look to the right of you. I guarantee one of those people won't be here by the time you graduate. And he was right. By the time you graduate, only about 50% of the class is left.
Damn.
And it just makes you think you really got. And for multiple reasons. Some is academic, some is financial, personal. But just makes you see that not everybody makes it to the finish line in certain races. That's the best way I would like to put it. And the third one is just just being a black man, man. I've never seen so many black men in one place, all gifted, all intelligent. It kind of knocks down all the stereotypes you hear about us all the time, and it kind of just reinforced the need to help other men who look like me. I've been about that even before I got to Morehouse, but it just kind of reinforced, the kind of creative motto that I live by, helping out anybody I can, especially those who look like me.
Now, so Morehouse made you want to do that, or the whole city of Atlanta? When you say that you've never seen so many people that look like you and break down all the stereotypes, it's because there's a lot of stuff going on in New York. They doing it big like that too.
Well, the reason I say about Morehouse because Morehouse is an all black male school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna see anywhere else, probably in America, that's all black males striving for higher education. You get what I'm saying?
Right, but bro, check this out. I was watching the TV. I can't remember what it was. I seen white folks and other folks at these HBCUs.
Yeah.
So blew my mind.
I know. It's changed. We had by 2 years after I graduated, valedictorian was actually white. So of course you have. I'm assuming that they, are not going to be discriminatory towards a white person who fits the credentials to get into an HBCU. And
are the credentials? Honestly, let me ask you real quick. Are the credentials the same as any other college out there?
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same as any other how should I say, maybe any top institute. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, they don't lessen the requirements. I do think that what Morehouse does do though, which is I think great, they allow a lane for those who may not come from a good financial background or may not have the grades to get into Morehouse and kind of still elevate.
Oh, so it's not like okay.
Oh man, you got to get straight A's and straight B's. It's like, okay, man, you came from Southside Queens. Your grades aren't the best, but man, you're making an effort. We're gonna let you in. You know what I mean? And you matriculate from there.
Right. Okay,
that's
shit.
What I like about it too.
Well, that's special, man, because obviously there's a big barrier between folks being able to get into college financially. If it's not no sports or some kind of scholarship, it's a good chance that it ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen, yeah, and that's the beautiful thing is that it's not a whole bunch of. What you said just now is really important. You think about higher education in a lot of these big schools like Duke, Notre Dame. The black people are known for their athleticism. You know what I'm saying? Not for their intelligence.
All the time.
Yeah, and it's sad. It's like you associate a black male, especially in a high university, has to do something sports related. With Morehouse, not the case. Most of them were there for their accomplishments academically.
That's dope. That's special. I'm glad we highlight that. That's dope because 60% of the stuff that's out there, they're just gonna pretty much put you in the entertainment category and just say, hey, football, music, pretty much. I ain't gonna lie. When I was growing up, I kind of thought that that's the choices. Either that or the drug dealer. So I felt, but I grew up in the '90s.
I get it.
Yeah, so I think that's a real special situation that people probably don't know. I know it's a lot of people out here. I'm in California, Los Angeles. A lot of people want to go to Morehouse. That's all they talk about.
For real? A lot of people from Cali there. A lot of people from Cali. That sounded funny you said that. Like I had two of these dudes who are in my same floor were from Cali.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's what's up. All right, so I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. So I know you in the Airbnb game.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. And you doing this in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, I'm doing it in Atlanta.
There's so many Black-owned, self-sufficient businesses out there. So much competition out there. So much this, so much that. And I just heard, not too long ago, that they was trying to ban the Airbnbs in Atlanta. Is that true, or is that just?
Yeah. Well, what they did was they instituted something that made it a little bit harder for Airbnbs to flourish. So, they give the Airbnbs the term short-term rentals. So what they did, like for example, in one of the counties, they kind of said that, okay, let's say you're running an Airbnb from your house, you need to have, and you're like buying a house primarily for Airbnb, you to like register the Airbnb with the city. So what comes in play with that? Well, now it's registered with the city. The city has to keep tabs of how many Airbnbs are in the city. You got to make sure it has fire code regulations. I know someone who got a letter in the mail saying, we're aware that you're running an Airbnb, and you have to register. So now you have to get insurance as well.
Right.
You know, you have to get,
what kind of insurance? Like renter's insurance?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Renter's insurance.
Okay.
So you got to get that as well. You got to have a fire marshal come out, make sure that the place has a route taped on the wall for any fire escape. And there's other small stipulations as well.
That's a lot of stuff that's gonna make 50% of the people say, you know what, I'm good.
I'm done with this. Mm-hmm. I'm done. Like I ain't signed up for all of this, you know. So because you got to think about it now, you got to pay taxes on that money,
right?
You know. So
is it only Atlanta? Because I ain't heard about nothing like that out here.
I think for right now it's only Atlanta. I think New York has something that they passed too.
That's because the Negroes out there, boy, when they're taking advantage of some shit, boy, I'm telling you.
Yeah. And I really think like they're trying to hurt the small time person who is a minority. Because let's keep it real, most of the Airbnbs in Atlanta are probably black owned. You know, so I feel like it just hurts those people who are trying to make a little bit of extra money.
But I do got to keep it 1,000. Those a lot of them people out there trapping up the motherfuckers still.
Oh yeah, they are. But still, it's still good to have some good clean money coming to Airbnb.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's still good to have some clean money coming in, but running a legit business. You know what I mean? So,
right.
You know, I mean, why give somebody? Why end the means of somebody running a legitimate business? You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like, why do that? And the reason they're doing this because I'm sure the hotel lobby, you know, it's probably on their necks. Like, you know, we need to do something about the increases of Airbnbs because some people are just getting places to run Airbnbs, and it's like a double-edged sword. Because I do get that some people just buy a house, get an Airbnb, and they don't regulate the type of parties and Airbnbs, how people coming through. You know, so. But at the same time, you can't hurt the small time person who just wants to make a little bit extra money, running an Airbnb.
That's real.
You know, so that's what they are. So and long story short, yeah, man, they are trying to implement things to shut Airbnbs down. So
let me ask you this: you can just give me an estimate on a monthly basis. How much can one make?
Oh, it depends. Like if you have, so let's say to start off with like something basic, like a room Airbnb. You know, a room Airbnb, you can make at least 1,000 if you're fully booked, just a room. You know, you talk about moving into like whole homes, like you can get at least, I would say, between $5,000 to $9,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. If you're fully booked now, you know what I mean?
Right. So you're talking like a 2-bedroom house.
Yeah, I would say 3 and up bedroom house.
3 and up.
You know,
3 and up.
Yeah, I know a place where a whole family can come and stay. You know, and when you take into account the cleaning fees and things like that, the price starts to go up. But a lot of people, what they're doing now in Atlanta and everywhere, honestly, they're trying to make unique Airbnb. So like we have a treehouse. There's a treehouse Airbnb in Georgia. I think it's the most popular Airbnb I think in the world. And this Airbnb, man, I think last time I checked, I think it was maybe like $200 a night.
What?
It's always booked. I think it's more than that. I think I'm being like on the like conservative side with the estimate, but they're like booked up like a year in advance. You know, you gotta try to lucky to get a day in. You know, and it's people use it for weddings. People use it, to just for engagements, for different type of events they have. And now there's like a lot of copycat treehouse Airbnbs. You know,
damn.
So it's So if you have a creative type of mind and you have an idea, you don't have to be a creative. Just have an idea, and you got the resources to put it into play. You can make a lot of money because people want to stay at somewhere unique. You know.
Right. Wow. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so what about the Turo game? A lot of people are interested in this, and this is when you rent your cars out, right?
Yeah. When you rent your cars out. I started this a couple years ago, man. Like I want to say like 6 years ago, and back then it wasn't even called Turo. It was called Relay Rides. Like way back in the day.
Oh, you've been in this, so you've been all the way in this thing.
Yeah, back when they first started, and I was like, man, I need some extra money. What can I do with this car?
Right.
So I was like, let me get a Ford Taurus back then, and I was like, you know what, let me try this relay ride thing. And I think I was booked within like a day. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, this may make some money, but you know, I had a Ford Taurus at the time. I had another car at the time, and I was like, you know, while this car is sitting, I wasn't making much money in my regular job, but let me try to utilize this. And this guy, the one girl rented it. She was cool. And then she ran into some kind of problem with the car. I can't remember exactly what it was. I think she said it shut off on her or something like that. And I was just like, you know what, let me put a brake on this for a little while. Because my thing was that, I don't want to put anybody in a car that may give them a problem. You know what I mean?
Right. That's what I was going to ask you. Like, is there any requirements to make sure that the car is running right, or?
Well, back then there wasn't. Now Turo has a yearly inspection that they require you to do for the car. So you got to take it to a mechanic and a certified mechanic, and they have to run through like a little checklist, like brakes, headlights, things like that, to see if the car is running correctly or running well. So that's what they have. That's what they implemented now, and they should have, because there's a lot of. People don't know about these horror stories, but you read through some of the reviews, and somebody's like, "Yo, I had this car on the highway, and then the tire went out, or it's like you don't want them type of issues."
Right.
Some people don't care what they put somebody in. Just keep it honest, They're trying to make some money.
So it's not like anybody could do it. So technically, somebody could put a bucket on there and just rent it out to you. And
they can't rent it out to you. But Turo depends a lot. One thing about Turo, which they've improved on, they don't play now if they get a customer complaint. So if somebody rents your car and they say like, "Yo, man, I don't know," let's say they say it smells. Okay, for example, I had somebody rent my Fiat a couple weeks ago. Now they smoke. Now Turo charges a smoking fee, right? And it's a $250 smoking fee. If you smoke in somebody's car, they charge you $250. Now I'm not somebody who's really like, okay, people smoke, I don't care, honestly.
Right.
But what I do care about is you leaving a mess in my car. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In good condition. Bro, you can smoke. I don't even care that much. But I do care about you bringing the car back to me with no ash in it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
If it smells all over the car, then you're not respecting my property. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they do have that. So like for my Fiat, I hit the guy. I'm like, man, you definitely smoked in this car, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was like, oh, it wasn't me. It was my. I was like, man, no matter who it was, I gave you the car. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to make sure you take care of the joint. Like, you smoke all through it. Like, it's all over the car. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what he did in the message, he's like, well, I didn't even complain about the brakes being bad. And I'm like, the brakes being bad?
Oh, ain't that a bitch?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, bro, the brakes are fine on that car. You know what I'm saying? Like, I make sure my car is maintained. He's like, the brakes are great. And he's like, oh, well, I didn't mention it. And I'm like, man, if you feel like the brakes were an issue, then you should have let me know. But he hit me. You know what I'm saying? He called me and he was like, I'm trying. He's a younger dude. He's like, I'm really sorry about it. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let you slide this time. I really was. I'm like, bro, I understand. I ain't trying to. Because he explained to me he needed Turo to get to and from, like, I think he was an acting gig or something like that.
Right.
And I'm like, cool, man. I understand. You know what I'm saying? You're a young dude. I'm just saying you got to do better next time, honestly, because it's me and I'm talking to you man to man. For somebody else, they ain't gonna care. They ain't gonna hear what you're talking about. They're just gonna get that $250 and skate away with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but what happened was Turo wrote me an email. They were like, oh, we see that you're not charging the fee anymore. Thank you for being a great host. But we're gonna suspend your car. And I'm like, why are they suspending my car? They was like, going through the messages, pretty much, they saw that he said that my brakes were bad, right?
Right.
So because in the message, they deemed it necessary to delist my car until I got it inspected. So, and I was tight about it. I was upset.
Crazy.
I'm like, man,
that's crazy.
I was like, man, I should have just took that $250 and not even entertain this dude. But I was like, you know what? I see what Turo is doing. They got to make sure that these cars are safe on the road. So I understood. I took it the next day. Got it inspected, passed, then uploaded the inspection sheet, and got it relisted within within a day or two. So So yeah, so Turo does take that stuff serious. The only downside is that they have a system in which if you charge somebody after the ride, that person could come back and say, well, the car had bad brakes, so leaking oil, and then now you got to go and get it inspected because that person is upset. You charge them.
That's what I was going to say, because it really ain't no rules because it's such a new industry. So it ain't no regulation really, huh?
Nah, there's no regulations. They actually, and I try to look it up. There is, since Turo came out, there's like something called is it called rideshare? I think it's called it's not called rideshare. It's something like every state has stipulations that Turo has to abide by.
Right.
And if you look through the Turo terms of service for your state and you click on it, like you can get to your state website and they break down like what you have to do listing cars on Turo, like, keep them maintained, that you have to have your own insurance aside from Turo insurance, just different stipulations like that.
Okay. What's the worst thing that happened on there that you had to deal with?
Boy, I'm actually going to make a video about this. I meant to make a video about this, but let me tell you, this story, I'm going to make a TikTok about it or something. So I actually had a car, man, a Mitsubishi. It made me take a pause from Turo, but anyway. So I had a Mitsubishi Mirage, man. This lady, my second rental. Just got the car, no more than a month. They, dropped it off to this lady. Cool. So I think it took 5 days. So I am on Facebook. My friend sent me a message like, yo, you got to check out this crazy accident in Atlanta today. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me check it out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it. I see like somebody hits rear-end somebody, then they get out, they start fighting, and the person driving a lady starts biting this other dude. Now, mind you, my drop-offs are contactless drop-offs, so I don't really see the person I see the ID, right?
Right.
I'm looking at the car and I'm like, hold up. This looks like mine. I'm looking and I'm like, hold up, I know this person and somebody in my car didn't even have tags yet. I still have paper tags on my car.
Damn.
So they rear-ended somebody and tried to drive away, right?
Right.
The person out their car ripped off the paper tag.
Damn.
On the back of the car. So this person gets out and starts biting the other person.
Wow.
I'm like, what kind of shit is this? Now, mind you, my bad. I'm a person too. I didn't know, but my bad. I'm like, what is going on here? So like. I'm like, all right, cool. I know this is my car. I'm like, I know this is my car. I'm looking at the ID. I'm like, this got to be this person. So I'm just waiting at this point. I'm waiting. I mean, I got a tracker in my car too. I put trackers in the ODB ports. You need trackers. If you want to have a Turo business, you need trackers. So I look on my trackers. I'm like, okay, the car was definitely here. So I'm just waiting at this point. I'm like, let me see what she gonna say. So I'm waiting. Now we passed 3 hours. I said, yo, were you in an accident today? I hear no response, right? No response. Like an hour later, she's like, how'd you know that? Or whatever. And I'm like, I'm looking at a video of what I think is about a car and somebody fighting somebody else. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I was in an accident today. It was nothing crazy. I'm like, well, I'm seeing the video. It looked pretty crazy to me.
Oh, wow. Hell no.
So I'm like, man. So, all right, cool. So I'm like, keep it for the duration of the trip. It's drivable. I said I'm going to report this to Turo, of course. But I went to go pick up my car, man. And the thing about it, my car was not in bad shape.
Right.
Condition. So she could have got away with it, man. If I never saw that video, she could have definitely got away with it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I said, I contacted Turo. I said, yo, how are we going to do this? I said, you want to go to your insurance? She's like, yeah, I have insurance. I called her insurance. I said, listen, the insurance had to play a funny game. And be like, well, don't you have Turo? I'm like, no. Her insurance is primary. Right. She has insurance already. I said, claims. I used to work in claims. So I'm like, you can't tell me that. Like, she declined the Turo insurance, so her insurance is going to be primary. You feel me?
Yeah.
She could have told me she didn't have insurance. So I do respect her for that she did stand up and say, like, I do have insurance instead of trying to skate away. Her insurance ended up paying for the damage to it. But check this out, though. This is what made me stop Turo for a little while. So maybe about 2 months after that, I got a letter in the mail from the other guy's insurance company telling me like I was getting sued.
Oh wow!
Like, $7,000. I think it was more than that, honestly. But you know, it said this car is in your name and so and so, and I'm like, yo. But by this time, her insurance company already paid me for the claim. Now, you know, in claims, if a company pays for the claim, they have now admitted fault because they paid for it, right, for my car. I said, listen, I got this letter from your this law firm. I'm like, man, I did not, I was not driving this car. That was car registered in your name, sir. I said, listen, I have the payout from the claim, and I also have a video showing that this person. Matter of fact, backtrack. Her insurance company didn't want to pay at first, right?
Whoa.
I said, listen, I don't think y'all want to play this game and not paying and want her to pay. I said, I got a video showing this person. It's not going to look good if you go to court and it shows you're insured getting out biting somebody in my car. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So as soon as I sent the video, they're like, yes, okay, we see Mr. Shury. Okay, we'll pay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So then the other lady, when the lawyer for the other guy who she hit contacted me, I ended up sending him the video too. But that really was scary, man, because you got to think about it, bro. What if I never saw that video?
Right.
If I never saw that video, I never would have known she was an accident because she wouldn't have told me. You feel me?
Yeah, she sure wasn't going to say nothing.
No, she wasn't going to say nothing. She probably could have said, I hit a tree or something, you know what I mean, whatever. And then months later, I would have got that letter in the mail, and I would have been like, yo, what is this? Like, I would have been like shocked almost, you feel me?
Right.
So that made me like, yo, I had to really think like how, like, yo, it made me think from now on when it comes to the Turo thing, couple things. One, you got to take crazy amount of pictures before your car hit the street.
Right.
Like, no front, back side. You need like at least 50, 60, 70 pictures of your car.
Damn, that's a lot.
You need a lot, man. You need a lot because, you know, anybody come back after the fact, you know what I'm saying, you got to make sure that you covered. And two, you got to make sure that you keep a log of where these people are going with your car. Because you don't want to get a letter 2 months down the line and you're shocked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, now, you know, I have trackers in my cars. I keep T-Mobile trackers in my cars in the ODB port. And like my Chevy, which is one reason I love about Chevy vehicles, that Chevy comes with OnStar.
Right.
And they have their tracking system, so I don't even have to put a tracker in there. It's built in to the car. So, you know, I think like them cars, like, that's probably why you see a lot of Corvettes on Turo too, and they probably never get stolen because, you know, they got the built-in trackers on them. But yeah, man, that thing shook me because I was like, yo, man, that just could have been way worse, you know. So
hell yeah, it could have been a disaster. Let me ask you this: how much can somebody make on Turo with 3 cars? Let me see. Let's just say 3 BMWs.
3 BMWs.
2020.
20 BMWs. Well, see, the thing about it is this, and I will say this: you really can't say because you know why? Every market is different. So, like, let's say the Atlanta market right now, I'm gonna keep it honest, with you, man. Like, BMWs are one of them that's like another saturated car in the market.
Right.
So I see 3 Series going for like maybe 50, 60 a day. You know what I'm saying?
50 or 60 a day.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I kid you not. I kid you not, man. And it's like, because the market is so saturated. So I'm still learning it. I got 3 cars on Turo now. And you know, a private. I do the private rental thing sometimes with people who watch. You know, with the BM or whatever. But my thing is this, like, you got to really study the market that you're in. So when I first started, I was like, I'm gonna get me a Tesla. I'm gonna put a Tesla on there. I'm about to make all the money. They got probably over 100 Teslas in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you gotta think about it, man. Like, unless you got a color that stands out or something, it's not really worth it if you want to make the money. So that's the thing about Turo. You got 2 sets of people out there. Like, you got the ones who want to say, yo, let me get me a BMW 7 Series because I want to stunt and I want to have a car people rent out. Or you got people like me, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, yeah, I could go out there and buy, I don't know, let's say the new BMW 8 Series, which is a beautiful car. But it's like, are enough people going to be out there renting it? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
Get your money back, because I don't want to be left holding a whole bunch of debt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's interesting. Like, it's really an interesting thing. Like, I will say this. So that's the 3. But if things are going really well that month, you probably can make like 4,000 or 5,000.
4,000 or 5,000 a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If things are going really well, if you got if Turo puts you to like the highest, they give you like a range of what you want the price to be, like, let's say 50 and 90. So if things are really busy, they'll push your price up to like $80-something a day. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We are seeing right now like some signs of a recession. Like, I may have like I see like with me, let's say I got the Fiat, I got the Chrysler, I got the Chevy. My Chrysler is priced higher, but people are renting the Chevy's always gone. Chevy Sonic is always gone. And why is it? Because people are choosing something cheaper in this type of economy. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I really care about I don't. They don't really want the latest car. You know what I mean?
What they choose it like some small shit that's good on gas.
Good on gas, yes, good on gas. Right. So that's the main thing people say when they write me. They're like, yo, like I had one girl. She wrote me a day. She was like, yo, I want to rent your Fiat for a day. You know what I mean? And I'm like, all right, cool. She's like, I'm going out of town. I don't really know how far are you going. She's like, I'm going to South Carolina, I think. Well, I said, man, are you aware that my car is a 200 mile a day limit? You know what I mean? I wouldn't want you to go over. I'm honest with the people that do business with me, man. Like, some people are kind of grimy, like, oh, well, that's you. You should know. You should read the thing. But I'm like, yo, if you're going out of town, you're going to South Carolina, more than likely you're going to put over 200 miles on the car in a day.
Right.
You feel me? So she's like, yeah, it's going to be like 300. I'm like, yeah, man, you might want to find something else. She's like, no, this car is good on gas. You know what I'm saying? You're really close to where I live. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's fine. If she came, she rented it. She went over. Even though she went over, she paid the overage. She was like, yo, it's not that much, like $25, I think it was over.
Uh-huh.
So she was like, it's not that bad. I let it park, in the driveway where my car is stored, and everything went well. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like people are going to pay, even if it's a little bit more, to rent that smaller car, to rent something fancy, because they're just trying to get to point A to point B.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they don't mind. But on the flip side, because like I said, I will test the market with a full luxury car just for Turo.
Uh-huh.
But you got to do this too. When people rent certain, I'm still thinking of getting a Mustang. But you got to think, if somebody's renting a Mustang, they're not renting that thing to drive slow. You know what I'm saying? They're driving that into the ground. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They ain't thinking about going speed limit. So, just from being in different Turo groups, I'm seeing like, man, is this worth it? Is it worth me getting, like a Camaro, or getting like something that's known for speed? Because when they get it, they're not gonna drive it slow at all. So, you got to really think about. But then again, like there are people on there. They gotta let's say somebody on there might have like a Jaguar, like the F-type Jaguar, renting it for $170 a day. And they make it in 3 days, but I might make it in 2 weeks with one of my cars,
Right.
So that's the chance you take.
Okay. What kind of tips can you give to somebody that's trying to get into that game?
Okay. First thing I would say is start with an economy car. That's what I would say. Don't go out there and get a really expensive car, because the thing about the economy car, like, so for example, with an economy car like my Chevy Sonic, it might come back with a scratch on it, man. I got the little paint pen. I painted myself. I changed, a visor myself. Now the BMW clientele is different.
Right.
They ain't trying to 2021 BMW that got scratches on it.
Exactly. Yeah, real talk.
Yeah, they don't want to do that. They came out for a reason. There's a different kind of clientele. So they want to step out and they want their car to be clean all the time.
Right.
So, I would say somebody start with an economy car and learn your market too. Like go online, go on Turo.com, see what cars are being rented out consistently. You know what I mean?
Right.
Look at the trips and see, like, does this happen 100 trips or more? One thing.
Oh, so they give you that data. They tell you, like, they put the car up there, and then they tell you how many trips has been used.
Turo has a thing called car calculator. So you basically, you put the car in there and you see like how much you can make potentially.
Yeah.
But besides that, you yourself should go on. So like a big one that people don't know about is minivans, man. Like minivans ain't sexy, but them things make a lot of money.
That's some soccer moms.
Exactly. Soccer moms coming in town. You know what I'm saying? They don't need no Escalade. They want the Dodge Caravan. They want the Dodge Caravan.
Right.
And they're going to pay $100 or something a day for that because why? They can fit the whole family in it.
Right.
They got TVs in it. You know what I'm saying? So people, so quick to say, man, I want to get me a Tesla. I want to get me a slingshot. Man, get you a minivan. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna give you a high ROI. I mean,
so that's dope. How does the gas situation work? They pay it or you fill it up?
So basically on the first, let's say you first doing Turo, you're gonna fill it up. But from that point forward though, the renter is supposed to fill the car up with gas.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? They're just supposed to fill it up from that point forward with a full tank of gas. But if they don't fill it up, then you can report it to Turo and they'll reimburse you whatever money you spent out. Also you can make available like a pre-fuel option. So when they bring it back, they don't have to fill it up, but they paid extra for that option.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's real good.
Yeah, and also to make sure your insurance is intact before putting it on Turo. That as well.
What kind of insurance you need? Full blasted insurance, extra insurance, or what?
No, you can put liability. I have liability on my cars, but that's because I have economy cars. But Turo insurance is in place. When the car's on the trip. They have this company called Luna. They have started like a Turo off rental program that they'll cover you for $80 a car when your cars are off of Turo.
Oh shit, that's cheap.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, but there are stipulations. You can't go over 300 miles off of Turo. You gotta have a tracker installed in the car. And it can't be over a certain amount of miles. It's kind of like it's in infancy stages, but it seems like a good program. And I will say, just start with one car. Start with one car and go from there. Don't come out the gate saying I'm about 5-6 cars if you got that kind of money.
Right.
Just start with one and then see how the supply and demand is working in your area.
How do you pick and choose or filter like bad customers?
Turo got the rating system. Of course. Okay. So you might get somebody that has let's say they got a 3-star out of 5. Yeah, I don't want to take that chance, But usually a lot of the people, man, on Turo are usually first-time customers. They're first-time.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so you really got to roll the dice and say, man, you really don't want to deny a customer, but how should I say this? Because you don't want to deny somebody, but sometimes. I'm trying to see the right word to say. They might say certain things when they write you, and you're like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. May not be a good look for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, this may not be the car for you. You got to do that because, depending on what the weekend is or what the time is, you may have that option. So, for example, maybe 3 weekends ago, it was busy. And I had 4 people at one time, yo, man, I need your car for the weekend. And, one girl was like, yeah, I'm in town for, what did she say again? I forgot what she said. Some type of party, some type of event. And I'm like, yo, I'd rather not say necessarily for her. Well, Atlanta accidents are already high. I think we have the worst traffic, they say, in America, probably next to Cali, But
yeah,
I don't want to find a situation where it's it might be somebody hitting it or her hitting somebody, you know what I mean? So I have the option to choose because I had other people hit me up. So I chose somebody who I think would probably be a safer bet based on what they told me, what they're planning to do with the car. They were like, I need the car to get from point A to point B because my car's in the shop. You hear what I'm saying? So more than likely, the person is not going to do anything crazy in your car. But like I said, let's say that same person hit me up and I had no other people hit me up. I probably would have let her rent the car because I know this is a business. You know what I mean? And you're covered with Turo insurance. But at the same time, nobody wants to go through the hassle of an accident. Who wants to go through that?
Right.
Yeah. I
So
don't
how
agree with that.
often is the car rented out to 30 days average?
Oh, average man. I would say the Chevy Sonic is always rented. I would say like at least 25 days out the
Ooh,
month.
wow, that's
Yeah,
strong.
yes, a lot. Yeah, the Chrysler, probably half of that. The Fiat is up and down. It's up and down, man. Like interesting. That's an interesting car too because it's like it's small, so people like it for the gas. So I have a lot of people use the Fiat to go far, far out of town. I had one girl rented it, man. She took it all over the place. Took it to South Carolina. They took it to Savannah, Georgia, then North Carolina. I was like, all over. But I don't mind. It is what it is. But that's like a hit and miss, man. Like and I've seen people rent the Fiat at like higher price points than the other two cars. So it's just like I'm still learning the market. You know what I mean? I'm learning like
Yeah.
how cause this is my first year going full force with the Turo. Having these cars at one time. You know what I mean? So and I have the ability to get more cars, but I'm really want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing as far as the type of car that I'm getting. So
Yeah. Has anybody ever stole one? I hear a lot of horror stories. People take off
oh
the
yeah,
tracker and just steal it or try to.
yeah, that happens a lot in Cali, man. A lot in Cali. They drive in Texas. They
Yeah.
drive right to Mexico. Right to Mexico. Them things don't come back. they never
That's
coming back from Mexico.
crazy.
They ain't never coming back. But I've never had nobody steal my car, man. Thank God. I never had that issue.
Now,
Yeah,
let me ask
issue.
you, you gotta own the car, right? Because like they got these people all over the place giving out misinformation. Um, like let me just say, Bad Man Kevo. This don't sound right. He telling people that you can go to the car dealer, go get the car dealer, still be making the payments on it, but you be renting it out. Don't you gotta own the car?
He said you can do what now?
Buy the car, basically lease the car, and put it on Turo without owning it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can do that. You can, but and I've seen people. If people do that, the thing about it though, when you lease a car, it comes with certain stipulations like your mileage and stuff like that.
Well, not necessarily lease. Just you're financing it, basically.
Oh yeah. Of course, yeah. You can still do that. My Chevy is financed still on Turo.
Oh, okay,
So
so people telling me that that's not good game, so that is good game.
oh, it is. It definitely is. It definitely is. You just have to make sure that it makes sense for you financially.
Right.
So, and when I say that, it's like, let's say you go out there, let's say you do get a 7 Series BM and you got to pay $800 a month. Are you going to make that, and insurance on top of that? Are you going to make that money and then some on Turo?
Right.
Because if you're not, it doesn't make any sense. And not only that, too, man, you got to think, the thing about, and people do not mention this a lot, people got to think about this, recalls. A newer car,
yeah,
recall might come in and they may not have a fix for months later. So you just got that new car. As a matter of fact, what was it? I think it's the new Broncos. Some of the models have a recall and there's no fix in sight right now. So some people who bought 2 or 3 of those cars for Turo got to now think about selling them or doing private rentals maybe, because Turo does not allow a car on there that had the recall hasn't been fixed, safety issue.
Oh, so, wow.
Yeah, so that's another thing I'm learning. I'm like, all right, Ty, don't get you 2021, maybe get cars that are 5 years older, because by then maybe a lot of the recalls are worked out. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's another thing you got to think about. But then again, the 2021 cars, of course, are going to get, more money. You get more money from them, People
right.
Got something new. So it's a lot of studying you got to do. You really can.
Yeah, that shit sound like a lot of studying you got to do. Now with the Airbnbs, can you do the same thing? Like basically, like rent it out without owning it, like rent out an apartment.
Yeah, well, that's how I started, man. Like, I started not in Atlanta. I started in Duluth. Me and a friend of mine, we had a 3-bedroom that we were staying together. She was gonna rent one room, I was renting one room, and the other one was for her daughter actually. And what happened was my job switched offices, so I was like, yo, I'm not gonna stay here no more because it's too far from my job. So I was like, what can we do? Because I don't want to be paying rent here. I'm not staying here. And she's like, let's do the Airbnb thing. I'm like, all right, cool, let's do that. And man, this was a couple years ago. I can't, maybe 2017 or something. So and we was making crazy money in the area we were in. Like it was always booked, and it was paying for the rent, and we were making money off of it. You know.
Okay.
And, this is like, I was like, this could work. I'm like, I like this idea. You know what I mean?
So you rent a whole nother spot while living in a whole nother area.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Exactly. Yeah, and see, back then, man, we were paying like, I want to say like 11 something for 3-bedroom. And then, you know, at the same time, having the Airbnb on there for the 2 rooms, you know, I think it was 50 something a night or something like that. Well, you know, we were making like $1,000 a month off of that spot. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Which is not bad.
Yeah, you basically living rent free.
Yeah, rent free, and we were making money because we were making more than that sometimes. Because you know why? That's the thing about it too. Location was so important at the time. I didn't know that we were next to like some type of amphitheater stadium or something like that.
Oh shit!
Right, so there were a lot of events that would come by. I'm like, geez, you got a lot of certain like clientele that's coming in and out of here, and I'm like, yo, it's because of this. Cause they were like, oh, how far are you from like the so amphitheater? Well, I forgot the name of the place, but we were like, yo, we're like 2 miles from there. And they're like, okay, great, I'm booking right now. So when people left in the review and they said, oh, this place was so close to such and such, people just started booking off of that. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, you get you a little spot off the strip or something, you'll be good.
Yeah, exactly. And even though it wasn't in Atlanta, it was near a spot that had a lot of traffic.
Right.
So we would get a lot of customers. So that made me think at that point, like, man, getting an Airbnb next to somewhere that's going to be pivotal to people or vital to somebody traveling is really, really important. Which, of course, makes sense. But at the time, I didn't know how important it was, so I actually was going through it. You know.
So, what kind of tips can you give somebody that want to get into the Airbnb game in 2023? Because a lot of shit's changed. Things that might have worked 2 years ago definitely ain't gonna work now.
Yeah. I would say if you could find someone who doesn't let's say somebody wants to rent out their property.
Yeah.
Or looking for, see if you could arrange renting it out for them. You know, so you could say, listen, I'll take care of everything. Let me just put this on Airbnb. Come up with some type of rental agreement. I'm sure you can find a lot of subleasing agreement. I'm sure you can find them online, and try to do it that way. So you're saying, let's say that person is like, yeah, I'm trying to rent my home out for $1,400 a month. It's like a 4-bedroom house. You're like, yo, let me get it. I'll Airbnb it, take care of everything. You charge like $50 a night for like you rent it by rooms.
Okay.
Or rent it by the night even for the whole place. And you're able to pay them their rent, but make some money on top of that. You know,
right?
Somebody, you might have like an elderly couple who doesn't want to, they retire, but they don't want to, they want to rent their house out, but don't want to deal with the Airbnb stuff. You know,
right?
You go to them. The rent. I feel like I'm sure the same way in Cali. Apartment prices have gone up a lot. They've gone up a lot. In the last 5 years, like the place that I was renting, the 3-bedroom. I had for like 1,100, probably like 1,700 now. So it don't even really make sense no more to even try it because one, there's more Airbnbs now, more competition, and 2, they're raising the rent so high now.
Right, it's ridiculous.
They're kind of making it so you can't have an Airbnb and make a decent profit because people tell me, oh yeah, I'm gonna get an apartment, and I'm like, well, when you take into consideration your cleaning expenses, you're traveling back and forth to the Airbnb, you're really just breaking even.
Right.
And like, don't have an Airbnb just to say I have an Airbnb. That doesn't make any sense. You know. And if you see in the last year, I've seen so many Airbnbs just like stop. Just stop. Like I just one lady I never forget. She had like this candy themed Airbnb. Man, I thought the idea was so dope. I'm like, man, this is gonna make some money. Like, and she shut it down within like a month.
Damn.
Because making enough money, she said, and she had great reviews. 2, the apartment people were complaining about, neighbors were complaining about, and it's like you really got to do a lot of research before you do these things. Now you can't just. Before it was just like Wild Wild West. You could get a place, Airbnb it. Now apartment complexes actually are doing something which is interesting. They're actually putting some of their units on Airbnb.
Oh wow!
So. Yeah. So they're like, to heck with that. We're gonna cut out these people who want to rent from us. Now they're doing like corporate rentals, whatever they call it. and like have like a part of their apartment complex that's already furnished that you can rent out. You know, like daily and stuff like that. So monthly. So
you sound like it's not a good time to get into this Airbnb game.
I will say this: it's a good idea if you have a unique experience that you want to sell to the customer.
Okay.
So I will say this: like me, I do more so consulting on the Airbnb. I still make money and I have my Airbnb, but I still do more consulting on the side. So my Airbnb I have right now is near to the airport, right? So how do you stand out in this market? What do you offer, right? So like I'm like this. You come to my Airbnb. It's just a whole other thing that I'm gonna work on too. You come to my Airbnb. What do I offer you? You can get a concierge or shuttle service. I'm sorry, from the airport to my Airbnb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can pay me for that. However you want to do it, and you get. So I had one lady, two people. Actually, one person took advantage of it because something new that I've implemented. But no, she got a flight 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, and she's like, "Yo, I want to pay extra for the shuttle service." Okay, I got you. Come get your bags. Take you right to the airport. For the extra 25, which is great for a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, that's real convenient.
Very convenient. Very convenient. You don't got to worry about the price gouging from Uber and Lyft and during those times. You know what I mean? I'm giving you one set rate. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry. Two is also offering to rent on Turo. So like you come stay with me, okay, you get a discount on the Turo rental. You know what I mean? So it's like a one-stop shop. You can come here and get everything you need from my Airbnb. You know what I mean?
Right.
And also, also being affiliated with other Airbnbs. So it's like, I have another Airbnb run by, somebody in the area. I'm like, okay, well, I'm booked up, but I have somebody else who's free. You know what I mean? And if they have an overage of people, I'm free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, those type of things are going to set you apart. And like I'm also working on a new Airbnb as well. It's going to be part of a property, but something that's just for me seeing the market and seeing what people like. Trying to create something that's kind of unique. You know what I mean? Something that's kind of like Zen-like, peaceful, when people want to get away from
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Now it seems like you got to sell the experience.
Experience, yeah. So that's what I want to say. If you have an experience that you can sell to people, that is what is going to stand out.
Interesting. That's real game right there. That's real game.
Yeah. That's going to stand out. And don't get me wrong, you still have the one bedrooms that will crash pads, But if you're talking about making some real money, you got to really sell an experience.
Okay. Well, that's what's up, man. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up, man. I got my boy Tyrone Shury in the building. Southside Queens to Atlanta to California. We made it happen, man. Before we wrap this thing up, man, here on this Boss Talk podcast, let me ask you this. How you feel about the market right now?
Oh man, depressed, stressed out. I ain't want to talk about the market.
I know. That's why I just.
I mean, you know what, man? This is a whole another deeper topic, man. But I feel like from Airbnb to Turo to all, because the people are taking hits on Turo.
Right. Everybody like, always making it look all good, but I know there's some bad parts about both the industries.
People are really suffering. Some people got to sell their units. Some people because like they're not getting any bookings. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Airbnb. Some units are dry right now. I mean, thank God. I think I made a post in my group the other day. Thank God for customers.
Yeah, I saw it. Yep. You booked out though.
Yeah, you got to treat people like family, man. Because during this time, what's gonna separate you from the others?
Right.
Yeah. Totally. So I do special things for people, for people, man. Like somebody might tell me, hey, it's my kid's birthday. Okay, what's the kid's favorite color? I might get some candy in that color or something. You know what I mean? So
I already know. I'm in the group with you, and I didn't see you buy 10 people breakfast that don't even comment in the group. Don't even bring nothing to the group.
Yeah, man. You got to buy me. Like I said, I've done really well in the Airbnb. So, and even my regular job. My regular job finances a lot too as well. So like, yeah, I don't mind spreading the love, man, because anything I ever gave out, I get it back 10 times, man. I'm really, really, really serious about that. So I don't really complain that much. But I will say about the market, back to the question, I'm kind of getting off topic, but you gotta teaches anybody, you gotta diversify, man. You can't just have your money in one place. And thank God, like, you know, I sang I'm telling anybody, I sang the praises of Carvana. I was one of their early investors. To see what's happening
I remember.
Is sad. It's honestly almost unexplainable what I see is going on with them. Even if they're over leveraged, I don't understand why they're taking a beating like this. I made so much money off of Carvana, and I liquidated a lot of it, like last year and a half when they hit its peak. But man, that's only because I was investing in something else, which was the car business, and
that was good. That's what you're supposed to do. You can't see.
But
this is what a lot of people gonna miss their money. Like, you do have to take some of your profit sometimes and move it into something else, or the profit's gonna be gone. Like the Dogecoin millionaire. Exactly. Where's that cat?
Exactly.
He ain't even a millionaire no more out here.
Who?
The Dogecoin guy.
Oh yeah, no, probably not, because he probably kept all his money in there. He said he wasn't selling.
Yeah, he didn't sell. So like sometimes you got to take your profit and diversify it, like you said. But this is my opinion on the game. You know, I've been picking and choosing. You know, the stuff that I got. I was able to be profitable the whole year through the bear market, barely, only up 8% for the year, but still a lot of better than a lot. You know, that could be happening. So, yeah. Let me just put it that way. But what I know is when the Fed stop raising the interest rate, that's when the market is going to turn around, and that's when you can just throw your dice and you close your eyes and you can buy anything, and it's going to go to the sky. Like, you know how the AMCs and all of that was going because the Feds control everything, and that is the lethal lesson that I learned this year. So they already did a small pivot, and this is a little bit of game. You know me.
Yeah, of course.
The little bit of game I'm just gonna drop on here, you know, as a crypto boss, is they're going to, once they've already stopped. They already made a small pivot because they were doing 0.75 interest rate, 0.75. I think the last one they just did was 0.50. So once they stop doing the interest rate hikes, which I'm predicting June 2023, next summer, that's when I'm expecting an explosive market. Also, a lot of people don't know. We'll make a video on this. 2024 is the Bitcoin halving, so that's when the bull market comes back. You know, it's seasons. Yeah. So it's 2024 is right around the corner, but that is when the Bitcoin halving season is.
So I will say this then. So you think right now people should just keep their money out the market?
I'm accumulating. The way I look at it is, you got to, as far as crypto, I'm looking at it like this. I'm telling all my closest ones, you got to 2024 to get as much Bitcoin as you can.
Okay.
That's how you should be looking at it, accumulating it.
But that's when it's going to go back up, you believe?
Yeah, everything will go back in 2024, and it's going to be too late.
Okay.
Because, you know, Bitcoin once Bitcoin go, everything goes. You know that. Then it's going to be like, damn.
Yeah. No, for real, it does. And but see, the thing about it, man, which is kind of sad, is that, okay, you know, I still got money in Bitcoin and Dodge, stuff like that, but I feel like this is just going to make people miss out again.
Yep, they did it again. They did it again. A lot of people going to miss out because this was real frustrating, and a lot of people like, fuck that, I'm cashing out, fuck crypto, it's a scam. And they did it again. That's exactly what they wanted you to do. That's why I'm trying to tell people. I'm telling you, you got to 2024. They know it. Everybody knows. When the Bitcoin halving season come back, it's gonna be a wrap.
You're a wrap, yeah. And a lot of people, unfortunately, gonna be like I said. I don't really sell like that when things go down like that. I always hold.
Right.
And be in a position so I can rally, but hopefully a lot of people listen to that and don't be out here holding the bag with nothing, you know what I mean, or leaving with nothing rather.
Right, exactly. Because I'm telling you, they're pulling a big trick right now and got everybody selling their Bitcoin at 16,000. The shit was just at 60,000. You a fool if if you're not accumulating right now, this is more than a 3x. It's going back to 60 minimum when the season gets right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, I'm definitely going to accumulate some of my accounts as well.
I don't know about Dogecoin and all the other stuff, but I'm just talking about the number one thing.
I'm just holding Dogecoin right now. Me too.